Yes, good evening. This is with the Benson Media, and as usual, today is a Friday. We are blessed to have this opportunity this evening to just proceed with the discussion that we had started earlier. Before we proceed, allow me to invite Miguda to say hi. Miguda, you can say hi.
Hello, how are you? I'm great. I'm doing fine. How about you people? Viewers, welcome to the show. This is Brother Benson Media. We say your opinion counts. And we also welcome you to this second session. Back to you.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Yeah, I can see a good friend, Judith, at the comment section. Thank you so much, Judith, for finding time to join us this evening. And, part of what we want to discuss this evening is, of course, the issue of Albert, a gentleman who was arrested all the way from Mawego, from Omabay, Kasipul, and taken to Nairobi, where, you know, while within the cell, he was, the country was told that he died. So it's a question that the people of Kenya are talking about. That is, part of what we want to discuss tonight. And I think I'll just get into the topic straight, Mr. Miguda. I don't know whether you've gotten the opportunity to read the Star newspaper while they were, speaking about the same matter of Juang. I don't know whether you had. Yes,
I read the Star Makobura. You know, we are
very well.
fans of the Star. You understand the Star. We do the Star because you know what's inside the Star. But let me also welcome our loyal viewer, Judith Karita. At this hour, it's not easy to see to find her watching, but she has come at this hour, so we really appreciate because I think this hour she could be sleeping sometimes. At least she's out now watching. We are grateful. Or she has come back because the spirit of demonstration, the Gen Z. Welcome back to you. What about the store?
Yeah, so of course, we want to discuss partly what was there in the Star. And I'm quite sure that we all understand the story of Ojwang. Ojwang, of course, was a blogger and also a teacher. And of course, he died in the police custody uh, over the weekend. And, his death has really shaken the country. And part of what the people are speaking about is, what really made him to go through all those things that he went through. And, part of what the Star newspaper was talking about is the issue of Karura forest. That this young gentleman was brought all the way from, Oma Bay via Mawego, and then he was confirmed having been booked at, Central Police Station. And then after the booking, he was taken again from this particular police station to Karura Forest, where for a period of around 3 hours, there are some accused. The Star speaks about this gentleman having underwent torture within this forest, and he's saying that within that particular place, there were also presence of some other officers who have a higher rank within the police force. And that according to the Star is saying that after the torture of this gentleman, until when the police, the people who were torturing him realized that he had gone to a coma, that he was not responsive. That is when, they were now taking him back. Then, upon realizing that it was not going to be easy for them to admit him within the, the premises of the Central Police Station, that is when the issue of the CCTV was brought up, and it was interfered with. Mr. Migura, what is your take on this finding by the star? What can you say about it?
We have tried to gather our intells, and what we have recognized that the star was the narration was by the niece. So the niece were trying to cover up and try to remove the crime scene from Central Police Station to KARURA Forest. Now they are trying to make it that Albert was never killed inside police station. Albert was killed outside the police station. That is KARURA Forest. But he was supposed to be booked. So the OCS never booked him because he had already had some complications. That was another narrative. Because there have been so many narratives. Now you cannot understand which is which. But I think the state-sponsored narrative by the Star, it was a nice idea. Up to now, we cannot find actually what really killed Albert or where was the crime scene. I think they are trying to divert attention of the people that no civilian has ever been killed inside the police station. So they were trying to remove that to from police station to KARURA Forest. That could be the reason why they brought that issue of the Star.
Okay, I'll get back to you on the same question. Maybe we saw quite a number of arrests today, and for the first time, we were told that the OCS of Central Police Station was also arrested today. But remember, there has been consistent demonstration throughout the country, and part of what is, part of what is being requested by the citizens, of course, justice for this gentleman. Remember, there has been consistent, call by the people that the IG should, resign or he should step down to allow for the investigation. But this are part of what we are seeing. And then, if you did follow the proceedings of what was happening, maybe in the courts, or what the people are saying in social media, they're saying that they want to, sacrifice this one gentleman, the OCS, living, for example, the big fish, according to what the people are saying. What is your take on, this particular matter? Do you think the OCS, the PC, and maybe the technicians are the real perpetrators or are the real suspects in this particular matter? Or what is your take? Do you really think they are being used as sacrificial lambs in this matter?
What I wanted to say that the the nature of the crime, there were so many parties who participated. Understand from the time of arrest, because it was in the hands of the DCIO and some police officers. When it was removed from its jurisdiction of arrest to a different jurisdiction, that is in Nairobi, you find out that by that time, there's so many things happen along the way. And there were so many people, even the people who ordered the arrest, like there was a complainant in the quest for the arrest, and also there were the people who were supposed to book the deceased, and there was also OCS who was in the charge of the station, and there were also some police officers who were controlling the cells, and also the people who removed him from outside the cell, and the people who transported him to Bagadi for treatment, and even to City Morgue. So there are so many parties, and because right now, they are carrying out investigation by the IPO. I believe that is why they have gone into deep to find out why was it that they can't find out the footage. And when they were doing investigation, who was controlling the footage and who deleted the footage. So we find out that the person who deleted the footage is part and parcel who the people who they have committed what we call their accomplice. They assisted to get rid of the investigations, because if he could have never did those CCTV, we could have found out the people who walked into a police station and outside the police station after all the incident. So I believe that going forward, right now, I think like 3 people have been arrested, but I want to promise you, we expect more arrest. There many people are going to be arrested. So it's a long list, and the person who deleted the footage is also part and parcel of the investigation. They are going to be used. Why? Who ordered him to delete those footages? Why was he deleting? By who? The order came from who? And what were the reasons for deleting it? So they are going to assist in investigation. That's why it is very important to arrest them and put them under custody pending investigation.
Okay, very well. Thank you. You've spoken about the CCTV, and there's a gentleman who was arrested on the same matter of having interfered with the CCTV. And maybe just your take. What is your take on this matter, and specifically? Remember, this gentleman was is just a technician, and he, let's assume that you are the technician. Maybe you receive a call that you come to a specific place, and you're told that as an expert, assist us on, either deactivating or deleting some part of this, CCTV. Suppose you are the one, you are the technician. What would you have done? That is a question that I'm directing to you. And then something else that I want you to clarify is that now that this gentleman, of course, has been, has been taken to court as also a suspect, how is he going to be defended in this particular matter, being that he is an expert in that particular field and he was just called to give the services? Do you think he had the privy to the knowledge, or he knew what was happening to an extent that he was being asked to delete? And why is it that he's now being said that is an accomplice? He's part of those who perpetrated this kind of this matter. What is your take on that?
Like I've told you that there are many parties in the who have actually tried to committed the crime or committed, because even after committing the crime, you find out that there are people who are trying to cover up. They are trying to clear the mess. Those people are also trying to aid the perpetrators, because, like, if you have deleted the footage, it's like you want to erase the evidence from the view, because if it could have not been deleted, you could have known the officers who have entered into a police station and come out, because you have assisted the system to delete the footage. So it means you are a person of interest, because we want to know who ordered you and of what reasons. Because maybe the person who ordered you might be the one who have committed that crime, and whatever reasons, maybe why the interest. And even if you are technicians, you can be used, because if he admit that he was used, you can be used to, because like me, I don't know how to delete a CCTV footage. I believe even you don't know how to delete, but an expert can know how to delete. That's why it's a person of interest. Maybe he can even retrieve them. Those people can retrieve deleted informations. You understand? So we need him to be part of the investigation. Like I've told you earlier that this matter is still pending investigation, or investigation is going on. Therefore, each and every party, and you, because like we have said before, the standard of proof is beyond reasonable doubt. So we want to know, actually, we want to know the origin of the source of the death of the person, and also who actually strangled the deceased. That is why even you, Makobura, if you could be in that police station, and maybe you are the person who was giving false information to Kanja, to the public. We want to know where was Kanja receiving those intels? Who are the police officers? Who are, like the police officer who told the people that the deceased hit his head on the wall? Where did that police officer get that report? And for what reasons? So it is not something that you can just assume to be a walk in the park. It is very much detailed, and it is something that is of public interest. Therefore, we want to know even why was he admitting to work to provide the service to the police officer as an expert, because he ought to have even hide those information to the public so that when he appear to court, he can appear as a witness. And remember, he is also part of the witness because he knows what he deleted. Maybe he had watched it, so he can explain to us actually what was on the video. That's why even if you are trying to make it look like the technician, how is he being put part and parcel of the parties involved? Because, like I told you, that this is a case whereby it was not done by one person. It requires a lot of people to perpetrate a person because it must be planned. Some people try some people are trying to cover up the mess, and it also brought attention that it was done by the police officers, and police officers are not expert in everything. That those who do not know even the how to operate the laptops, they don't know the IT, so they must involve experts. That's why they must involve people who can delete the footage. They must involve the people who can give false narrative. They must involve the people who can, even the experts who can carry out the autopsy. Those people can give false information, the result of the autopsy. So it's something that is, I think, like I promise you, there are many arrests that are going to happen going forward.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Migoda. There has been consistent demonstration, and today we saw part of Kasipul, and of course, specifically towards the Moego police station. There were youths who were out and they were also fighting, I mean, demonstrating. And part of what they were asking or requesting from the relevant authorities, of course, is justice for the gentleman, Mr. Ojuang. And, this is not the first death that is being, that is coming to the limelight. People have been killed by the police. If you remember, quite a huge number of people during the Gen Z's time were killed. Most of them, of course, were youths. Some of them were actually they were killed on a broad daylight. And if you also saw what the BBC expose, produced, it somehow clarified part or gave evidence to, part of what really happened on that fateful day. We've not seen arrest. I mean, we've not seen IPOA getting into these cases and doing it to conclusion. And of course, that brings me to this question. There has been a lot of critics, of course, highlighting a very low number of past convictions, despite thousands of investigations into the alleged abuses, by the law enforcers. From where you sit, do you think the people of Kenya and partly the parents of this gentleman would get what we call justice? Being that, with the, just like I've given you a clear example of what had happened previously. You remember the case of Rex. You remember the case of Baby Pendo. you remember there's so many cases, and part of this, there were what you could call clear evidence, because if you saw what was happening on that particular day, if you watch the clips, it was so unfortunate that the police, I mean, the witnesses would go there and say that on that fateful day, there were not police officers who were masquerading, or I mean, who were moving around with fire. Do you think the family is going to get the justice? That is one. You can also give us your opinion on what you think about the demonstrations. Are all these demonstrations, because you remember the Finance Bill 2027, I mean 2024, there was a massive number of people who came out to protest. And of course, that led to a dissolution of the cabinet. But remember, it was just done for the time. After some few days, the same exact people were brought back to government, and some of them are serving within this, cabinet position. Some of them are serving in other dockets. Do you think the demonstrations are going to change? Do you think through these demonstrations we are going to get what we call justice? Are we going to experience change? Your take?
When you talk about justice, justice is a complicated topic to discuss, because justice, like I've said, maybe it depends on your definition. Someone can perceive justice that doing good to your friend and doing evil to your enemy. To him, that is justice. Or if you do me good, I do you good. If you do me wrong, I do you good. To me, that is justice. So, what is justice? The people might seek justice, but I don't believe that they are gonna get it because of the stories we have been getting from the officers. First, there's been inconsistency from the officers, and also we have been getting different reports, which and also they have been covering up from the Senate, National Assembly. They're doing what we call cover up. They don't want to come out clear and engage the real culprits. In my view, they are trying to delay justice, and justice delayed is justice denied, and justice must be done and seen done. That is why I believe that it's not enough. Even compensation is not enough. What they're trying to do right now by Nairobi County Governor, trying to cater for the expenses for the funerals, trying to give the widow employment, trying to adopt the kid. But that is not enough because, like losing a life, that was a core right, and no one can bring back that life. I believe that people are not going to get justice. Even compensation to me is not enough. And the only way they can sort it out, I think, by ensuring that the culprits or perpetrators are apprehended, convicted, and now maybe they can serve their sentence in accordance with the penal code. That is how they can restore the dignity to the family. But by perpetrators just walking freely in the name of bond and bails, to me that is not justice. That's why I told you that justice is relative. Maybe to you, what is justice, not to me, what is justice. Like the philosophical schools of thought, whereby we have the likes of those people from Greek. They define justice. They took, I think, the entire maybe year trying to define what justice is. So it's a case of study, and we just want. That's why like we've said, we expect some people to step aside or support to resign so that they can allow the high power to carry out their task. That is how I can define it. But you have also asked me about the issue of demonstration. If demonstration are going to bring justice to the people, demonstration have been there before, but to some extent, there have been some baby steps which people have made. We can't ignore those baby steps. At least we are not in the dark ages per se, but some extent we are. But at least we are making progress And like we have said, and I want to quote Paul Muite, that the good news is that nobody will take us back where we have come from. With this our constitution, we're gonna get justice. Therefore, we demand through protest, through demonstration, through picketing, that the people or the culprits must be apprehended, everybody, including the bosses, so that at least in the eyes of the society, people can believe that actually justice was done to the deceased. But with all this PR from the Nairobi County Governor, this PR from the head of state, this PR from the IG Kanja, and different reports, I don't buy the idea. People will not buy the idea. They should convince the public that actually we are sorry for what had happened, and they should admit that it was done by the police officers who are the law enforcement body who are supposed to protect you people, and they continue to kill Kenyans. So that's how I view it. And I believe that one day, we can't serve justice that today we have justice, nobody's going to be killed until the kingdom of God comes. No, there are so many people who will be killed going forward, I believe so, because it is in a society whereby we have different people. But we tend to seek justice that we do not want to see more of these things happening coming future. We want to restore the dignity of the human beings. That's why we see demand that it must be done and seek done so that it can protect such future occurrences. And society, we can promise deaths, also we can promise bad omen, but we believe that we should live in dignity, whereby people's rights are being respected and people's dignity are restored. And the police officers should ensure that they carry out their duty to protect the lives of the people and ensure that they maintain law and order. But they should not take the lives which they should be protecting. That one must be understood. But I don't want to dismiss demonstrations, because through demonstrations, we got the new constitution. Through demonstration, we have the basic rights and fundamental freedoms. That is why I believe that demonstration is the only language that each and every institution understands. And through demonstration, the previous finance bill was deleted, it was rejected. Through demonstration, things have happened in this country, you understand? Through demonstration, there have been that pretense of national unity in the country. So I believe that demonstration should be there, but it should always be peaceful and armed, whereby you don't interfere with anybody's properties, don't interfere with anybody's rights, but to ensure that you exercise your freedom of movement and assembly without being interfered with. Back to Makubura.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda. And maybe if you saw the demonstration, I don't know there's something that we've always noticed, that we've seen people coming out for demonstration, and then there are also some goons who also come and they do very bad things. And most of the time, the government has always portrayed, them as the people who are doing the demonstration. They try to link the bad people with the genuine people. I don't know why they do so. Before we get into another topic, you will give us your take on what do you think about this particular problem that we've always witnessed. Whenever people are going for demonstration, we've seen people who are coming with ill motives, and most of the time they are not part of the demonstrators. Something else that I wanted to ask you is, I don't know if you watched the finance bill presentations by John Badi, and within that finance bill, there were critical things that the budget was really. I mean that budget more of the amount was taken to the side of education, almost 25% of the total budget. That's around 700 billion to the education sector. We also see the health sector. Of course, they've been talking about the SHA, so they gave it quite a number. I mean, some amount of money, and then what we also saw is that the defense part or the security part also received quite a number of, quite a good amount. What is your overall take on, the whole budget that was read before the people, before the parliament yesterday?
The issue of budget, I just want to leave it for Kenyans to discuss. It's outside there. I don't want to be like someone who maybe, because it affects everybody. I don't want to have maybe a view whereby people, I can have a view whereby it looks like it was my budget. It was never my budget. It's for the people, so it's also for people to decide. I just want to tackle some fundamentals. The way you talk about the issue of health, the issue of education, and also talk about the issue of infrastructure or levy. I think they said that they have not increased any tax. But what I know is that even though they have not increased any tax, but currently there are taxes. What about those taxes? Maybe it appeared to people that they have removed taxes. They have not removed taxes. The current taxes are inoperational. So even if they say they have not increased, but we have taxes right now. And I can assure you that whether you like it or don't like it, you're going to pay that tax because we pay taxes on a daily basis. So my appeal to the National Treasury is that they should ensure that they deliver service to the people with the current budget. They should not just be like they are reading it, then they have not been allocated. They should be allocated. And there are some roads I've marked actually, the infrastructure. There are some dispensary I've marked, and also the issue of education. We want to see them. Let us wait for the finance bill so we can see if they are going to be actualized or they were just good on paper. There are some roads that are affecting me directly. They were in the budget. So if I'll see them being constructed, I'll be convinced that it was the right budget for the people by this time. But all said and done is that we are yet to actualize it. It was just read. It means that it has not been put into work. So maybe we can give it a year. We can discuss about it 2026, God willing, if at all the finance bill will pass through. Back to you, Makubura.
Okay, I think we'll just not go for long. I want to take this opportunity to remind our viewers that this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you're new to this channel, kindly like and subscribe to this channel, and we'll really appreciate. I'll give you a chance to maybe just give your final remarks before we finish. Naguda? Okay, yeah, I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon from wherever you're watching us. We really appreciate the fact that you joined us, and we wish you all the best. Thank you for today. May God bless you. See you.